Hey y'all, Coach in the Fight here, doing our new moon report for the ninth month on the sacred calendar. In this short video, we're going to tell you when that month starts. We're going to tell you some interesting days that go on in that month, like Hanukkah. We're also going to talk a little bit about some information that has been coming from one channel. I'll go ahead and name it Interupts 165 or something like that. Was trying to tell us about how the years had been shifted and we're not actually in the correct month. They was trying to explain it. But in this video, I know I've tried to go in to understand what they were saying, but I believe I'm gonna be able to sum it up what they were saying to show what they got right and what they got wrong, so you guys who follow that channel can get some clarity. It was actually the actual results is going to surprise you. But anyway, I hope to keep this video short, so let's jump right into it. First of all, we're looking over here at a website called renewedmoon.com. You guys can use this website as often as you like to understand when the last sighting of the moon was seen all around the world. And they also give projections that we can use to know when the new moon will fall again, so we'll know the beginning of the month. But anyway, we're looking down here that the next time that the moon is expected is on Sunday, November the 15th, the evening of Sunday, November the 15th. We should see a new moon. Now, again, that's in the evening time. The significance of that is when the Levitical priests and the Levites would go out to verify the new moon, they would have to do so right when the sun went down. Even today, we have to, be careful to be right there as the sun goes down on the evening of November the 15th, if we want to catch a glimpse of this small sliver of the moon. But that's indicating the beginning of the month according to the very first evening. The very first day will be November the 16th. Monday, November the 16th. So the actual new moon day that people will celebrate will start on the evening of the 15th, and it will last until the evening of the 16th. So taking a quick look at the November 2020 calendar, we see that the 15th is on Sunday and the 16th is on Monday. Like we said, the first full day of the month will be Monday. That is a holy convocation. That is one of the days that we're supposed to worship, will be on the 16th, which will be the new moon day. But then on the 17th, well, let me show you how this works. I've shown you guys this several times, but let's see how this works right quick. Let's see, get me a little pencil out here. Okay, so you have the first day will be on the 16th. That's the first day of the month, but the actual physical work day won't start until the 17th. So we could put that down as day 0, and then that's day 1. That's the first work day, and you would have work days all the way through that would make the Sabbath day will be on Mondays. So from this, we understand that the Sabbath days will change from Sunday, which they are now, to Monday. Starting on the 16th of November, the Sabbath days will move to Mondays, and they will stay on Mondays until we have the next new moon. All right, so let's jump over here to timeanddate.com and see when or about that will be. So we see there's one new moon that's projected to be on November the 14th. But notice the difference between man's calendar and the Hebrew calendar, or the sacred calendar, is that the new moon on man's calendar is pointing to a 0% moon, meaning there's 0% chance you're actually going to see anything if you go out there on the 15th. The way that the sacred calendar is projected is they will actually have to wait until they actually see that small sliver of a moon on the 15th. That's why your calendar on the wall is always a day or two early when it comes to picking the new moons. But anyway, we see that you have that new moon on the 14th, and then if you go down, you'll see that the next new moon after that is projected to be on December the 14th, November the 14th, and then December the 14th. We'll have another new moon, and then the Sabbath days a change. Whereas from now, they're changing from Sunday to Monday. Well, on December the 14th, they're either going to change from Monday to Tuesday, or it could possibly go from Monday to Wednesday. You have to look at that closely. That's why it's so hard to create a perpetual sacred calendar. Is you have to observe the moon. But anyway, let's talk about this for a second. Like I said, I wanted to clarify some things that that Interupts 165 guys did over there. They actually have a lot of truth to what they're trying to say. I believe the major error that those guys committed was allowing their viewers to persuade them into making their statements in the year 2020, when simply it appears to me that what they were saying will make more sense in the year 2021. Well, let me show you what I mean here. We're looking at the new moons for the year 2020. Now, we understand from Enoch and on his chapters on the book of the luminaries that the month starts around the spring equinox. And we know that the spring equinox always falls on March the 20th, except for in leap years when it will fall on about March the 19th or something like that. But it's always within that time, March the 20th. I always use March the 20th as a round number because, most of the time it's either on the 20th or the 19th. But anyway, so when we're looking at the new moons, we go back up to March. We see that there was a new moon on the 24th of March. Well, that's a few days after the spring equinox. And remember, you even have to go a day farther than that. The new moon actually fell on the 26th of March, which is 6 days after the spring equinox on March the 20th. But so to me, it's real easy to understand that and to start counting, because if you start counting at March the 24th, let's show you what happens. You get one new moon. That'll be month 1. Month 2, April 22nd. Month 3 is in May 22nd. 4 is June 21st. 5, the 20th of July. 18th of August makes 6. 17th of September making the month 7. That's how we know we was entering the month 7. And then we see the 16th of October making month 8. And then we see, just like the NOV is trying to tell us, the 14th of November will be the beginning of month 9. So this is really easy to see when you're looking at it from this angle, that the months are lined up correctly. But let me show you what Interupts 165 was trying to say. I wish I could put these side by side, but let me just show you. I just have to jump over to the year 2021. Okay, so we're using the same calculator, timeanddate.com. We're going to come over and we're just going to use 2021 instead of 2020. And let's show you the difference. All right, to try to make this as simple as possible without having the two to put side by side. You see right there on March the 13th, there is a new moon. But like we talked about, the spring equinox will be on March the 20th. So this new moon is actually starting this new month, according to the way it's been calculated. This new month is actually starting a week before the spring equinox, right? And that's what Interupts 165 is talking about, is that the month should actually start after the spring equinox. So what they're saying, really simply, what they're saying is, in the year 2020, while the Jewish community will be starting their month on or a few days after March the 13th of the year 2020. The Interupts guys are saying that no, the month or the year, the first of the year shouldn't start until April the 11th. That's simple as it. What they're saying is that because that new moon is falling before the spring equinox, it shouldn't be counted as the head of the year. It shouldn't be counted, according to those guys. It shouldn't be counted for the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year should start on April the 11th. But let's watch what happened. We may end up coming back to this, but let's take advantage of it while I have it here. All right, so if we count these new moons out, you got the 13th of March being 1, April 11th is 2, May 3, June 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so once again, they're falling correctly as far as, October, the 8th month is falling in October, and the 7th month falling in September. But the problem is when you get around to 2022, watch what happens. All right, so we're looking at 2022, and we saw in 2021 that the 10th month started in December. Well, in January the 2nd, that would be the 11th month. And then on January 23rd will be the beginning of the 12th month. But then in order for you to get back until you have a new moon, which won't be until March, you see that puts because the moon comes in 10 days too early, that starts the head of the year in March the 2nd. But we know that that's way too early, so they'll end up going to be with an Adar 2 in the year 2022. Let me show you how that works. All right, just coming, you see in December 2021, you see you're ending the month Chisleu, and you're about to start the month Tevet. But that's the end of the year 2021. So then let's look at January 2022. You see Tevet is coming to an end, and then you have the month Shevet. But we know that the end of the month is Adar, so let's see when we get Adar. The end of the year is in the month Adar. And we see that Adar will start about February the 2nd, and it would go all the way through the whole month of February. And then in the month of March, we see that we actually get an Adar 2 that starts on about the 4th of March. And the reason why we have an Adar 2 there is because the new moon for the month of March 2021 came so early. So let's go back over and look at that right quick. Back over here looking at the moons, and again we see that the new moon that falls in March will be on the 13th of March, but that's before the spring equinox. And I think that's still up for some discussion on when exactly the year is supposed to start. Is it supposed to start strictly after the spring equinox? Well, that's what the 165 guys are saying. Interupts 165, that's what they're saying, is that the new year should always start after the spring equinox. So you see right here in 2021, that's actually a problem. It's actually, if they're right, that means that the Jewish world will be calculating that wrong, because they'll start their year before the spring equinox. But that's why I said is open for discussion, because Enoch is not really clear on that. At least from what I've seen, maybe I'm missing a verse that says that it's definitely supposed to start after the spring equinox, which means that the first month of the year 2021 will start on April the 11th instead of March the 13th. But again, the reason why they've gotten it so wrong in the year 2020 is that they've allowed themselves to project what will occur in the year 2021 onto what's actually going on in the year 2020. See, we don't have this problem in the year 2020. You see, the problem right there is that the new moon falls on March the 13th. Well, when you go back and you look at 2020, you don't see that problem. Watch. You see that the new moon in March of the year 2020 fell after March the 20th. It fell after the spring equinox. So there's nothing wrong with where we are now. You know, it should be easy for those guys to understand we're in the 9th month. They really should, because if not, they're going to get some people off as far as Hanukkah is concerned. But the thing about it, what they're saying, will make a lot more sense next year, and it's when we should really have that discussion. Hopefully by then they haven't, messed everybody up, who will say, well, you got it wrong in 2020. You must not know what you're talking about in 2021, because I do believe that it should be discussed, when is the year supposed to start in the year 2021. Okay, now just to summarize, have a new month that will start on November the 15th. So the first of the month celebration, the new moon celebration that many people will have, will start in the evening of the 15th, last till the evening of Monday the 16th. The Sabbath days will change to Mondays for the next 4 weeks until about December the 14th, when we have a new moon. And in this month, this is the 9th month on the sacred calendar. It includes Hanukkah. Hanukkah is the most important thing going on this month. You can read about that over in the book of First Maccabees and Second Maccabees. Be a good time to take a listen to it as we approach those Hanukkah days, so we know what's actually going on there. We've done many classes on this, showing how the Messiah kept the Hanukkah, and how it was a practice even for the disciples or whatever. So you can check those classes as we get prepared for Hanukkah. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out there. If you got something out of this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button, but leave us a comment either way. And shalom.